What it do, fam? Y'all already know, back at you again. I told y'all, you know what I mean? You know better, you do better, and whatnot. And this year, that's the goal, is to be more consistent and drop more videos, for y'all, and give y'all some number one to entertain y'all. So I just kind of want to put that out there. Everything that we putting out is for entertainment purposes only. If you take it like that, it is what it is. But last week I had I had told y'all I had some trauma. Well, the truck was having some trauma. I had some issues going on with the truck and everything. The week or two before that, the truck, well, actually, let me just go ahead and just break it all the way down. You know what I mean? Because I did tell y'all I was going to be more transparent, but when it came to breakdowns and stuff like that, let's go ahead and just get into it. I'm using this as my wine right now. But anyway, probably several months ago, truck wound up breaking down on me. Now, in the process of the truck breaking down on me, I was losing a lot of oil. I mean, a whole lot of oil. So at first, I really didn't know where this oil, where it was coming from. So I wound up finding out it was on the passenger side, really over there by the turbo. So at first, I did think the turbo might have been going out. So wound up saying something, the boss man, excuse me, and whatnot, and we wound up getting it to the dealership. This is the first time, because I took it to the dealership two times. So took it to the dealership the first time. They came back. They said that it was the turbo drain. A turbo drain. They said it was a gasket, and I'm gonna break that gasket shit down. They said it was a gasket, probably about that big also, and some other stuff around the turbo. Well, around that turbo drain. So he got it fixed. We got it. Well, really, it was me. Shit coming out my check. So we went on ahead and we got it fixed. Get the truck back, because I was noticing leaking where I parked my truck at. I always look up under the ground. And y'all might sit up here and say, well, how didn't you know if it was like previous oil spots? And that is a good question, because number one, where I park at, in the beginning, it was just me. The only one, the only big truck that was parking there. It's another truck that's parking there now, but he actually is bobtail, and he's parked in another section of this warehouse, basically. So it was no previous oil spots there. So I started to notice oil spots. And this started to happen right when the cold weather started to come and hit this southeast region part of the United States and whatnot. So I'm paying attention. I'm seeing what's going on. Hell, it was even one morning where I had told my wife, I said, hit the high beams on the car. She hit the high beams on the car because I wanted to see that concrete pad. So I wound up moving the truck in the trailer. I took some a paper towel, and I dipped it where that spot was at, and I looked, and it was oil, and it was fresh too. So I immediately started looking at the dipstick and whatnot. Was noticing it wasn't a lot of oil that was quote unquote disappearing. So that kind of threw me off, because the one day that I wound up doing, well, I do pre-trips every day, but the one day I wound up doing the pre-trip, it was actually oil on the dipstick. So that totally threw me off, because I was like, well, maybe it's the oil pressure sensor. Maybe that's going out. You know what I mean? Cold weather. First real cold weather. That this truck is dealing with this, and maybe that's what it is. Well, come to find out, the oil pressure sensor is good. I had noticed that. Well, the other thing is we thought it might have been a knock sensor. The more and more I'm starting to learn and find out with these knock sensors in these newer model trucks, it might be 20 things that's related to this knock sensor. And once that one sensor goes out, it's like everything else is going haywire and whatnot. Like I said, he thought it was the knock sensor and everything. Come to find out, it's not the knock sensor. Like I said, got it in at the dealership, got it back and whatnot, and started still noticing oil. It was leaking. So I was like, man, something ain't right. They ain't do the job right and everything. Like I said, it's a gasket. It's a gasket, and I'm gonna talk about that gasket also. So, like I said, was still noticing the leaking. Said something. He's like, well, we're gonna take it. Let's get it back to the dealership again. So we got the truck back to the dealership again. Now the second time, I was a little bit more upset because I was like, man, y'all really starting to waste my time. Eat now, even though I had the little day off and whatnot, but it was like still the wheels ain't turning. I'm not earning. You know what I mean? So it was starting to piss me off. Got the truck back, quote unquote. They claimed that it was the same thing, but the mechanic he didn't get the gasket in there right. Okay. So just follow me along with the story. He didn't get the gasket in there right. So I said, okay, cool. Granted, you probably fresh out of truck, diesel school and whatnot. So everybody make mistakes. Boss man was like, man, just pay attention and to everything. Still seeing more oil leaking. Now, y'all probably wondering, like, man, how are you seeing all of this oil leak? Mind you, where I park at, I'm the only big truck that I'm the only big truck that's parking there. So, okay, all right, dead down. Where I park at, it's a old kind of like a UPS, FedEx, Old Dominion, ACT, Central Transport, kind of like building. Okay, it's a building that goes wraps all the way around, and then they have docks on the outside of this building. It's probably like about 6 or 7 docks on one side and then 6 or 7 docks on the other side of this building. What I do is I actually because I met the man that owned the property. He was like, no, he was like, you can back your trailer into the dock. Cool. So that's what I do. Every time I come back, I bump the dock. So this is how I'm able to tell if oil is leaking. Plus, by me being the only truck there, hell, like this week, I'm in dock number 6. You know what I'm saying? But last week I was in dock number 1, and I'm gonna tell y'all why I'm doing it like that. So after I got the truck back the second time, I went to another parking spot. I think it was like dock number 2 or 3, give or take, seeing more oil on the concrete pad. So I'm like, man, they ain't did their job. So I said something to him about it, and then by this time, the knock sensor, quote unquote, actually, and it wasn't the knock sensor that went off. I'm gonna tell y'all what it was, but it was a sensor that wound up failing. And when it wound up failing, it didn't shoot out a fault code. Well, what wound up happening, okay, hopefully y'all already know. But in semi trucks, you got three different lights that will go off. You got a red check engine light, and typically when that motherfucker come on, you don't got too much longer. You got to like pull over and shut it down and whatnot. And then you'll have a yellow check engine light. Now the yellow check engine light, it will actually say, check on the inside, and 9 times out of 10, a fault code will pop up. A fault code will pop up for the red check engine light also. Now the last light is just a yellow engine. That's it. Well, that's what wound up popping up on the dash was the yellow engine. So when it popped up, I wound up going into the fault codes and seeing if it'll tell me what I need to know. Ain't no codes pop up, but he wound up getting a email stating what was going on. So as I'm telling him about everything, he like, yeah, I got the email. He like, this is what it's saying. He's like, but what do you think? So I'm telling him, I'm like, well, because this shit happened like early in the morning. I'm like, man, as I'm headed to the truck stop, put some fuel in. My oil pressure gauge, it went from 20 and shot up to 60, and then it started doing this, bouncing back and forth. I was like, but I'm not losing no power. I got my foot in the gas pedal, not losing no power. Ain't no weird lights going off or on. Everything is normal. So he said it might be the knock sensor. I was like, all right. I was like, listen, we have, well, me, not him, took in this truck to the dealership 2 times. I said, man, we need a fresh set of eyes on this. And he said, you know what? He said, you're right. He said, where you want to take it to? And I was like, let's get it over here. They're on the Georgia side, but they also got a shop in Mount Eagle, Tennessee, called Red Call, and I've been dealing with them for a minute anyway. So I said, man, let's go ahead get it in the Red Call. Go ahead and get them girls a call and drop it off. So he said, all right. He made the phone call, text me right back, said, hey, Karen said, just drop the truck off whenever you can. I was like, well, what time they close? She said 5 o'clock. All right, cool. Because I wound up picking up a load in Knoxville. Yeah, I picked up like a recycle load, cardboard at that. So I'm heavy. So got reloaded. Of course, I had to fight through they traffic, then Chattanooga traffic. Now I'm on the Georgia side. Boom, made it to where I needed to get to their shop and everything. Dropped it off. But before I dropped it off, because remember I was telling you about that gasket, right? I kind of know what they know me in there. Actually, they know me by first name. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The head mechanic, he was like, hey, nah, I want to talk to you because I want to know, what's going on. So I'm telling him everything. He tells me, which I didn't know. He says them gaskets, they're plastic. He said some of them gaskets are plastic. Like he said it's about that big, and he said it's plastic. And he said they have to heat them up to expand them. He was like, and if they don't do them right, he was like, they fuck up everything. He was like, because sometimes they can overheat them, where the plastic actually, once they're putting it in there, the plastic melts. And he was like, then they, closing shit up. And, he was like, it's a headache. So he said, I got all the paperwork that Ford had sent me on what they did. He was like, they did a turbo drain? I was like, yeah. He was like, man, that's the first thing I'm about to look at. So he looked at all of that. Make a long story short, let me pull this up. I got a new phone, y'all. I don't know if y'all can see this, but let me see here. We're going, oh shit. You can't see it. You can a little bit. There we go. All right. That's everything right. DDE / EA 4720 breather, a core, a gasket, a gasket for a crankshaft, a clamp, another gasket, and then they wind up cleaning everything up real good and whatnot. I did not know what a breather was, so um, one of my OGs had actually hit me up and was talking to him about it. He said that the breather is on the turbo, and he said that it actually helps when it comes to shooting oil to the turbo and whatnot. He gave me some advice. He was like, man, he said, and I'm gonna throw this out there, for y'all as well. Everybody, it don't matter what region, part of the United States that you live in. When winter starts to roll around, take the time to actually go on the outside of your truck, especially your airlines, and make sure that them hoses and everything is tight. Anything that you can see and touch when it come to clamps and stuff like that, make sure that they tight. Because like he told me, he said during the wintertime, he said that stuff tends to loosen up. And he was like, when your truck is doing this all day, it starts to, unwind more and more and more, and it just fucks everything up. So I said, all right, cool. But got the truck back that following day, actually the next day, and we've been riding. Now yesterday, I thought something had happened, but apparently, because I just got back in, I was supposed to been delivering. Well, I wanted to deliver today, but what was said to me was, no, deliver tomorrow because we got bush beans to go pick up tomorrow. And he was like, you could do what you gotta do. So, okay, cool. And it makes sense because of course, I'm paying for the fuel. So by the truck not running today, I'm saving on fuel. Now tomorrow the truck's gonna be running, so I'm gonna put some more, probably $250 in, probably like 79, 89 gallons, give or take. And let me go ahead and tell y'all, this came out to $1,251.13, and that shop supplies, environmental fee, shop labor. They had to go get the parts and everything. So brake cleaner. They use brake cleaner to get that oil off from around that turbo drain and all that shit and whatnot. So it is what it is. Good thing for me though is I have a maintenance. It's a maintenance fund that set up escrow. So it depends on how many miles I do. Don't matter deadhead loaded, but however many miles, and then that goes to the escrow. And when you go probably a month or two, no breakdowns, no tire issues and stuff like that, it builds up like real quick and everything. So that's pretty much it though, fam. What's been going on, with that truck and everything. Like I said, I just made it back to the house not too long ago because wound up dropping wifey off at work and stopped by the truck. I actually kind of got up under the truck. Matter of fact, to be honest with you, cause I hit something. I don't know what the hell I hit yesterday, but it was dark. I was like, man, fuck that shit. I was like, man, we look at this shit tomorrow. I was like, we deal with this shit tomorrow. Because yesterday was a long day. A very, very long day. Did, checked everything out. Fuel tanks is good. Air tanks is good. My lines, the air dryer lines on the passenger side, all of that shit is good. I mean, everything is good. Everything. So I said, we ran over something. I don't know what the fuck it was, but I know it wasn't no body, anything like that. It was on 24 and everything. So, but besides all of that, everything was good. I am about to get back to doing highway stories also. So I just have to put that out there. Man, oh man, I got one for y'all. Y'all are gonna be laughing your ass off. And it's dealing with I ain't gonna, but the dude, he was like, man, I'm sorry you had to hear that. And I'm just like, okay. He was like, no, they're here pissing me off. I was like, hey, I ain't judging. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it is what it is. Man, so I'll probably do that next week. Probably, hell, I might do it later on this week sometime. But as always, fam, peace, love, and joy. Holla.